Hi.
Hi, looking well. Oh.
Yeah, this is great. Yeah.
Yeah, I just saw a message from Scott.
About it, yeah?
Yeah, glad we got some nice weather.
Yeah, perfect. The sun.
With a mustache.
Hello there. Wow, long time. Yes.
You think somebody's going to be playing house.
That's me. Well, actually, I should say that's me and the ones who like you. All right, so we are going to go over here where the podium is and the microphones.
I have no expectations.
Yes, I want to be surrounded. This is the first place in Binghamton County to take advantage of for energy improvements.
Is the order?
County executive at the car. All right. Well, he's towards the end of the car. Okay, so Jennifer, your weapon. You can hand this off to me. You can hand this off to me after I do my thing. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome, and thank you for coming today. My name is Adam Flint. I'm the Southern Tier SolarWorks Program Manager at the Binghamton Regional Sustainability Coalition, or BRISC, and I'll be emceeing today. We're here to celebrate the very first energy improvement financed through Broome County's new Energize New York commercial financing program, also known as Commercial Property Assessed Clean Energy, or CPACE. And what it is a combination of solar photovoltaic panels arranged in awnings and an electric vehicle charging station, which you can't see right now because it's hidden by these signs. And we also have a Tesla and another electric vehicle there to celebrate with us. CPACE makes it easy and affordable for for-profit and non-profit owners of commercial buildings to make any sort of clean energy improvement, not just solar. The local law enabling this in Broome County was adopted last year with strong bipartisan support, which continues into this year as we start to see its benefits. In a moment, you're going to hear from our speakers the story of how and why this happened, how CPACE can work for you, and why community leaders are promoting it. First, I want to tell you a little bit about my organization. Southern Tier SolarWorks is a program of the Binghamton Regional Sustainability Coalition, a nonprofit building sustainability and resilience through partnership and civic participation since 2008. We work across the region, Southern Tier SolarWorks does, to spur affordable and efficient deployment of solar, energy efficiency, and other clean energy solutions by helping inform the public about technologies, policies, and incentives. We also support education and training of professionals needed to grow the regional clean energy economy and reap its rewards for our communities. We've helped nearly 100 families go solar and have been working with commercial property owners across the greater Binghamton area, now that we have CPACE here, to bring the benefits of clean energy to improve the bottom lines of our clients. In addition, we've partnered with the UE School District, Binghamton University, and SUNY Broome to help train the next generation of clean energy professionals, work which we're seeking to expand next year to include secondary school students. This year we celebrate our 100th Energy Corps intern, and we're going to have a special program at BU where we hope to announce our exciting plans. Our ultimate hope is to become the one-stop shop for all your clean energy needs, working with diverse partners across the region to make that happen. I want to close my remarks and then introduce our first speaker by sharing 3 reasons why Southern Tier SolarWorks thinks this is a really critical tool in our toolbox and the expansion of clean energy is so important. First, job creation. Second, keeping young people in our community. And third, tackling the existential threat of climate change. It's no secret that the economic recovery doesn't feel like much of one in much of upstate New York, and the energy field is a big part of the solution. It's one of the fastest growing careers in the state and the nation, with 1 in 35 jobs since the Great Recession created in this sector, and 85,000 people at work in New York doing that work. It's also a field that Dr. Gay Knuff, whose company ETM Solar installed this, likes to call pizzazz. Simply put, young people think solar is dope, or for boomers, cool. In our quest to attract and retain young people, we've succeeded in a small way by providing training and employment at our organization that has allowed a few to go to work in the region in this field. The way we scale that up, especially for young people, is to make it easy and affordable, and for leaders to step up the way the folks at Marchaz, the owners of the Art Mission Theater building, have done, and adopt the technologies we already have. The folks I'm about to introduce are some of the best leaders in our community on clean energy, and they're not alone, but they can only succeed as long as every elected official, employer, and community leader gets on board. Finally, Hurricanes Irma and Harvey are waking us from our apparent slumber since the historic floods of 2011 and 2006 to recognize that we really need to get a move on. Avoiding action on this spells doom. Taking action spells opportunity, prosperity, and a vibrant, resilient community with a bright future. Our first speaker today is Kate Chesbrough. Kate is of the family that owns Marchaz LLC, the owners of the Art Theater building. She's an artist in residence here at the Art Theater, and she's going to talk to you about why they decided to take this step. Kate?
Thank you, Adam. We are happy to be a part of an arts-driven, renewable energy-powered community and economy. The time is now to support the programs that we believe in. We are realizing our long-term vision for this building. To see this modern technology working on the historic art building is so exciting because we've wanted this since day one. Our doors opened in 2007, and ever since we have been a mixed-use art building with live-work lofts above the Art Mission and Theater on the first floor and artist studios in the lower level. We are celebrating our 10-year anniversary this year, and what better time to install the solar panels because we know that they will provide clean energy for many years to come. Our utility bill last month was down to $27. That's just the cost of being hooked up to the grid. Also, our monthly bills will stabilize, which will help us manage the building with more predictability. The CPACE program is a practical solution to long-term energy costs. Today, this electric garden is a prominent billboard for our sustainability initiatives. The site plan for the exterior of the building, which I've been working on as the artist in residence with the Art Mission and Theater, promotes sustainable practices. The native perennial shrub, tree, and perennials, shrubs, and tree plantings that you see around us were installed this year. A small oasis on asphalt that reduces the urban heat island effect and provides a habitat island for humans and non-humans to enjoy. People can witness the solar panels at work every time they enjoy this space. The solar awnings will power the interior lighting, the heat in the hallways, and the electric vehicle charger. Passive solar technology is at work here as well. As the angle of the awnings provides shade in the summer, and allows the massive interior brick walls to heat up during the winter. You are all invited to come and see the best movies playing in the Southern Tier at the Art Mission and Theater while you charge your electric car. Or you can come to a yoga or music class on the 4th floor in Vishnu's Couch studio and spend some time in the garden. If you'd like to be a part of our electric vehicle charging program, contact Maggie M. Martin at hotmail.com. And thank you all so much for coming and for the important work that you do. Next, we have the board president of the Art Mission and Theater, Santino D'Angelo.
Hello, my name is Santino D'Angelo. I'm the president of the Art Mission. As many have said before me, art helps us do many things. It allows us to escape, it teaches us, and it helps us dream about a better future for ourselves. In communities across the nation, art leads the way in revitalization and success. We see it in New York City, but we see it here in Binghamton too. And even though we make our living telling stories inside this building, the space itself tells a story. This tells a story of collaboration between the first art gallery that in Binghamton and the first art cinema that came together to create the only gallery in Binghamton that is still open 6 days a week for free to our community. We show the best art films from across the world here and only here in our community. And we also work with organizations around the county, including WSKG and the city of Binghamton, to make new art together. I want to take a moment to thank Marche, our wonderful landlord and friends, Maggie and Kate, who is also, as she mentioned before, our artist in residence. Our collaboration has helped our organization grow, and I want to thank Maggie for her leadership and helping our organization become the best that we can be. So I want to thank everybody for coming here. As I said before, art leads the way, and I look forward to seeing the future that Marche and SolarWorks has in store for our community. Thank you very much.
Our next speaker is Dr. Gay Kanoff, president and owner of ETM Solar, responsible for this wonderful project.
Greetings, everybody. I want to congratulate the Art Mission Theater building owners for choosing to go solar. As the incredibly expensive and devastating extreme weather events continue to pile up, it is more important than ever to stop burning fossil fuels as fast as we can. Having local residents and businesses leading the way is really awesome. Now, what they have installed here is a 5 kilowatt solar electric system. It generates approximately 20 kilowatt hours a day. So to put that in more familiar terms, that will give enough energy for my Chevy Bolt back here to go 70 miles. Okay, so it's a decent amount of generation, even though that's a fairly small system. This kind of system might be something you could put on your house and power your whole house as well. It is grid interactive, so it doesn't have any batteries. It works interactively with the utility. Now, I know that many people still think that going solar is expensive, but that's really old news. Today, the cost of solar cells is 200 times less than they were 30 years ago. Mass production, the cost of solar energy systems is half of what it was just 5 years ago. Solar energy systems are cheaper than cars and last 5 times longer than cars. There is ample financing available for solar electric systems, and we're going to hear about how they did it here next, but there's stuff for homes, businesses, and even renters as far as financing goes. And solar electricity is actually cheaper than utility power. It's about half the cost of utility power. We still have lots of incentives, including grants and tax credits, so this is the best time to go solar. The cost is ridiculously low. Now, just a little aside about solar. The vast majority of solar jobs are local, so we represent that. You know, our company is in Endicott. We hire solar installers, salespeople, office people, and those jobs cannot be outsourced. So most of solar jobs are inherently local. The solar industry is growing at a blistering pace. In 2016, we did twice as many installations, I'm talking about the United States now, twice as many installations as in 2015. That's 100% growth. If the smart business money is on the solar industry. Now, a nice complementary twist of fate is that we are also in the midst of the rise of the electric vehicle. People are finding out, they're figuring it out, they're doing the math. Electricity is cheaper than gas. My bolt there tells me that it can get 3.6 miles per kilowatt hour, and if I do the math, that means that I can get 36 miles on about 10 kilowatt hours, which costs $1.20 if you had to pay NYSEG. It costs about half that if you're getting it off your solar array. So think about that, $1.20 for 36 miles versus, a really good gasoline powered car of 36 miles takes a gallon, which is now what, $2.75 a gallon? So, do the math. There's also, who wouldn't want to cut their fuel costs in half? We're cutting our fuel costs more than in half, and we're not subject to the whims of big oil. Again, there's incentives for EVs they're still a little more expensive than other kinds of cars, but there's a big fat $7,500 federal tax credit for electric vehicles right now. So all of these are very practical and cost-benefit types of concerns, but there's some really nice perks in both solar power and EVs. There is that great feeling you get when you are generating your own electricity and you are not beholden to the big money, you are in charge of your energy destiny. You're showing it can be done, you're leading the way for a more sustainable future. And as for the electric vehicles, well, I just got hooked on the Chevy Bolt. Yes, it has a 230-mile range, all well and good and practical, but the get up and go and sporty feel of this car is really amazing. It jumps. Its maneuverability in traffic is phenomenal, so while I feel a little bit smug that I'm charging my EV with solar power, it's just plain fun to drive. And I'll bet the Tesla people will say the same thing. So there's a match made in heaven, solar power plus electric vehicles. This match is also leading to the rise of better energy storage, something we will need much more in the next 5 years. In case you didn't know, there's a $14 million battery research center over at Binghamton University. So we're on it, and it's again another economic driver for us. So it's time to ramp it up, go solar, and drive electric. If not now, if not you, who? If not when? If not now, when? I'm trying to do that quote. And now I'm going to introduce Joe Del Syndico, and he's going to tell us how property assessed clean energy loans work.
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to congratulate the Art Mission. This is the first project that's being done under the PACE program and the Commercial PACE program in Broome County. And we've been in conversations with the county for a long time, so it's nice to see a successful project. I'm going to give you a very quick overview because you may not be familiar with how this program works, but PACE is a program that is administered through the Energy Improvement Corporation, which is a public benefit corporation in New York State. And we provide 100% of the cost of the financing of projects like solar and projects like energy efficiency. So there is finally an entity that communities can look toward as a way to provide valuable financing at a low cost over an extended period of time. And as has been explained to you, this project is saving money from day one, so that's an awfully attractive benefit. And also important for everybody to understand, there's no public money associated with this financing. While we arrange the bonds that are being issued to provide the funding, banks such as Bank of America and KeyBank are actually buying those bonds. So just important for everybody to know that there is no public money involved in this, because I think everybody needs to understand that. I spend a lot of time going around New York State talking to elected officials about why they should become a member of the Energy Improvement Corporation and allow financing like these to take place. And this is an example of what is happening. What the elected officials are doing right now is they're making this program available to the constituents in their community. I honestly believe that without this project may not have gotten off the ground. And one of the reasons why that's happened is because of leadership. And I'm very happy. It's always dangerous to you're always afraid you're not going to mention everybody, but there's a couple of people I have to mention. First of all, Jason Shaw, who I've worked with for many years and has been involved in this project from the first meeting I had in Binghamton, which Adam actually arranged in 2013. And at that meeting was also Jason Garner, who at that time was the minority leader of the legislature. So it's really great to see Jason here, and I'm sure he's very happy to see this project going. But also one person that's extremely important, that is very important to our local community, is Assemblywoman Lupardo. She was a co-sponsor of the original PACE legislation. Just so you have background on this, PACE was a federal program. It was authored by the second Bush administration, and then New York State adopted the program so it could be administered in New York. So without her leadership, we would have not had this program from day one. So it's really important, I think, that everybody really try to understand that. And with that, I'm going to use this as an introduction to introduce Jason Garner.
Thank you, Joe. Well, first of all, I want to congratulate the Art Mission for doing this great project and believing in PACE and believing in solar energy and believing in clean energy. You know, many of us have believed in clean energy for a long time, but then you get into the real world and you have to say, you know, go to the business side. Can we? I don't think anybody says I want unclean energy, right? Everybody wants clean energy. I think these things are really cool myself. I'm not a millennial, but I think they're really cool and dope. But the question was always, how can we make this practical, like the Art Mission was able to make this practical? How can you go to a business person, a business or a nonprofit, and say, we're going to do PACE financing. We're going to put solar panels on your house. And even after it's all said and done, after the loan is put out there, the cost of purchasing this equipment, your energy bills are going to be less than they were before after all of that. That was the question for a long time. So let's talk about the collaboration. First of all, I mean, Joe just alluded to it. Donna Lupardo is one of the leading proponents of not just really clean energy, but trying to find a way to make clean energy work and make it practicable for residents and businesses here. So we've got a lot of state support here. All right. Yes, I was approached about this in 2013. I thought this is a great idea. I've heard about it before being done in other communities, but and again, Joe mentioned him, but you get a county legislator like Jason Shaw, who is willing to look at the data and make up his own mind about whether something is the right thing or not. And he sat down and talked to us. He's a business guy too. He owns his own business, and having somebody that's willing to work across party lines, somebody from a business background, and see, you know what, implementing PACE in Broome County is one of the things that can help us get from the idea that it's great to have clean energy to, hey, this actually will provide clean energy, but actually makes dollars and cents for businesses and nonprofits. So after 3 long years, we finally got it done late last year and got this put into law. And the thing I'd also be remiss in, so we got the state leaders, we got the local leaders, and then you got to sell this to businesses and nonprofits. And like I think a huge shout out has to go, and she's going to be speaking in a little bit, to Jen Conway, who is the leader of the Chamber of Commerce, the CEO, the executive director. She represents over 800 businesses, and I think she was, this is the kind of stuff that she's waiting for, to see PACE, to see this happen, where then she can go to her business and say, you know what, the state, the county have practical programs for you, practical clean energy programs. They are going to make you energy efficient, but you know what, maybe a little bit more importantly than that, they're going to save you money, and they're going to mean a lot to your bottom line. You're going to be able to one of the biggest expenses with businesses is the cost of doing business, the energy component of it. We're going to reduce business costs. I don't think anybody would have any problem with that. So, you know, Jen, along with Adam Flint, are really, you know, we're counting on them along with the rest of us to really push this program and talk about what happened at the Art Mission, and talk to our hundreds and hundreds of businesses across Broome County to get them to understand this program and all the benefits that this program has. So I just want to reiterate, this is something that not just one person did or a couple people. I mean, everybody behind me really played a large part in getting to where we are today. And you know, I hope that, you know, we're celebrating this today. This is our first CPACE project, my hope is that we have so many people doing this that this really won't be a press conference worth the event anymore. It'll just be something that happens all the time. So again, thank you for everybody for your collaboration and commitment to this. And our next speaker, again, without I don't really have to introduce her, but who has done so much for pushing these issues, but again, like really making it practical for these things to happen. Donna Lupardo, our state assemblywoman.
Thank you. Well, you've left me with almost nothing to say other than just a big thank you to everyone for believing in this idea. And this truly is a beautiful thing. I'm so impressed with how lovely this is and how many people will see it and ask about it and wonder how this came to be. The legislature passed legislation enabling municipalities to create sustainable energy loan programs back in 2009. Some counties were more forward-thinking than others. Some counties still have not yet embraced this model. But I'm so delighted that Broome County has embraced it with the leadership behind me. Of course, a big shout out to Art Mission. Maggie has always been a trailblazer, and we appreciate your commitment to downtown. This is just another example, and we're very grateful for your leadership. On the business side, which we're going to hear about in a second, this is good for business. The money they saved can be reinvested into their business, buy another piece of equipment, hire another employee. Also, this is fabulous for historic buildings because, again, those dollars saved can be reinvested into saving these lovely treasures that our community are so very proud of. So we're going to be looking to this as a model, and we're going to be looking to one another to continue our commitment to clean energy. It pains me to watch the news. It pains me to witness climate denial, especially in light of what's going on. This shows community leadership. I'm very, very proud of everyone to be a part of this. And now to speak further on the business aspect of this wonderful development, Jennifer from the Greater Binghamton Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you. There isn't much more to be said with the Chamber's role in what we, in our mission for the Greater Binghamton Chamber of Commerce in Broome County is whatever we can do invest in sustainability of our community, and that creates jobs and allows for ways that businesses can invest dollars where they need to be, which is in the creation of jobs and investment in their buildings. And one of the challenges, one of our greatest assets in our community is our buildings and the historicness of them. But one of our greatest challenges is our buildings and the historicness of this. And this is the kind of program that allows for businesses to invest in their building and to create energy efficiency so that they can use those dollars in helping growing the economy. And so, us as the chamber, we represent a lot of various chamber members. We believe in the diversity of energy, and we believe in the investment in our community. And so we strongly believe in this project. Because here we watch dollars going in a project that enables businesses to invest in the efficiency of their organization and growing their organization, and also investing in one of their biggest assets, which is their structure. So we're excited for this, that it is a way that as described, it's not public funds having to be invested, but it's private funds investing in private people, and we're creating a return, and it is the wonderfulness of what the Chamber of Commerce believes in. So here it is in action. We're excited to be able to help promote the word, help connect businesses to solutions that can help them grow, and all the while making our community an even more beautiful place. So thank you, Maggie, for investing in this. This is a place where you want to stay. These are the kinds of buildings that make Binghamton and Broome County a place where you want to live and stay and grow culturally, emotionally, physically, in every aspect. So thank you for investing in Broome County and being a forefront, a leader in change and what we can look like as a community. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jennifer, and everyone. And while our staff people get our ribbon in place, I want to actually ask one more person to say a few words. The other Jason Shaw, I think it's really, really critical to emphasize leadership, bipartisanship, beautiful built environment, job creation, energy savings, and climate protection. What else would you want? So let's ask Jason to say a couple things while we get that together.
Thank you, Adam.
I didn't come prepared with any remarks. I was not told to, but it's pretty easy to say, I've known Adam for almost probably 15 years now. I never thought our relationship would bring us to building things like this. I've known Gay through my business for years and never thought we'd be standing here together. I met Jason at the legislature. He was an easy partner. I think we're going to have other great things to do together. Donna, you've been very gracious and helpful when needed. Whenever I've needed something at the legislature, you've been there for me. The Art Theater, I've been seeing movies with you for forever. It really is amazing. I never thought when I got this position that so many things would come together over time, and I think the time has come for solar. It just makes sense. Common sense doesn't have a party. It was very easy to see we should work together on this, and there's going to be many more things to work together. So, thank you all.
Thank you very much. All right, so we are now going to cut this electric bill ribbon. And I'm going to ask Jennifer Conway to bring the big scissors, and I'm going to ask, yeah, maybe bring it a little back further, okay, and ask that Kate, on behalf of Marche, to actually do the deed. And I would like to have Jennifer and Jason on either side of them, Jason representing the county, and Jennifer representing the business side. We're cutting the electric bills. We're cutting the cord, symbolically.
1,
2, 3. Yay! Or they might be legal. Are there any questions?